Hi everyone, welcome back to the Imperfect Empath. I'm Stephanie Johnson, a licensed professional counselor associate, as well as a Texas licensed professional school counselor. And today I wanted to make a video kind of piggybacking off of my previous video where I talked about how I accumulate my field hours as both a full-time school counselor and a part-time clinician. Really, I wanted to make my case as to why you should have experience in both areas, even though you can technically get all 3,000 of your hours as a school counselor. I believe that there's value in being able to have experiences in both areas, especially if you do plan to transition into clinical work full-time. So if that's something that you're interested in, please keep watching. So back to my making a case for having both clinical experience alongside my school counselor experience. So I do plan on transitioning out of school counseling full-time at some point. I don't know what that timeline looks like, but because I know that is a part of my career path, I want to be prepared. I want to be ready. And a part of being ready is actually having that experience, being able to do case management work, filling out all the appropriate paperwork, talking about HIPAA compliance and therapeutic relationships, and all those things matter, as well as my therapeutic approach. It's hard to have a therapeutic approach as a school counselor because I'm not providing therapy. I'm providing support for emotion management and social emotional learning. I mean, if I had to have a therapeutic approach, I would say solution focused and maybe brief therapy. But again, that's not in the same vein as what you would do as a clinician. On top of that, you're working with a client more on a long-term basis. That means you're spending more time with them and you're building a relationship. At my school, I have students that come and go. I might see them one time and never see them again, which can be true in the clinical setting as well. But you're getting to know your clients on a deeper, much personal level, and it's a slow burn. I have to say, one of the most eye-opening things when I started working with this client is that you can't rush through this process. I'm used to having to work quickly. I only have 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. If it's a case where a student is dealing with suicidal ideation, self-harming, or maybe it was even a homicidal threat, then of course I'm going to spend more time with that student. I'm going to spend more time with that family, and we're actually going to have a positive support plan in place. But in the clinical setting, this thing could take weeks, even months, just to meet one goal. And you have to be okay with kind of, again, doing the slow dance. I call it low and slow. You got to take that low and slow approach. I'm a Texan. I like brisket. So with school counseling, it's quick and dirty. Okay, it's not dirty, but it's really a quicker approach. And that's just because of the nature of the work that we do. School counselors aren't just school counselors. I have been asked to substitute in classrooms before. I am the hall monitor, I am the lunch lady, I am the crosswalk guard. You wear like many, many hats. Another difference is how accommodating we are as school counselors. Anyone that works in the school setting knows that we have to be overly accommodating when it comes to our students and our parents. It's not our most favorite part of the job, but it is a necessary evil. In the clinical side, especially in the private sector, you don't do that. It's very different. You have to set boundaries and be very firm in those boundaries. I do feel like that is a part of some of the issues we have in public education is that we kind of don't have boundaries. We are told that we have to be able to provide, good customer service. Yes, our superintendent tells us that, like, we provide good customer service. And just like in any kind of retail work you do, it's kind of one of those, the customer's always right. That's not really the case in clinical work. And I appreciate that. I really appreciate that I am able to set boundaries, but I also have to learn how to be firm on those boundaries and be able to tell a client when maybe we need to transition them out or refer them for other services, especially if they're not making progress with me. So I do need to work on that. I do need practice, but again, I'm making my case for why we need more clinical experience. So just to recap a little bit, there are tons of differences between being a school counselor and being a clinician. And for those of you who have the room in your schedule to do part-time clinical work, I highly, highly recommend it. And any other school counselor / LPC-A, LPC would recommend the same. If you're just not able to have that a part of your schedule, understandable. Everybody's situation is very different. But at least try to do something over the summer or when you have breaks. I recently took on a position for this summer where I'm going to start seeing clients up to 10 hours each week. I know, I'm really excited and nervous and wondering what is this going to look like come August. But my game plan is to build my schedule around what it will look like when August starts, not have this wide open schedule because it's summer, I'm not doing anything else, right? No, I'm thinking about, hey, I'm usually at school by 7 o'clock and I'm usually out the door by 3:30, 4 o'clock. So will I be able to visit or have my first client at 4 o'clock and go until 6 in the evening? I need to work those things out over the summer so when August rolls around, we can make a really smooth transition and I don't have to lose clients. Another thing to keep in mind is that we have up to 5 years to get our 3,000 hours, you guys. There is no rush. I am not making this case to say, hey, if you work both as a school counselor and a clinician, you can get your hours faster and you can be done. That's not what I'm saying at all. First of all, you can't be done any sooner than 18 months. So I know already I'm going to have way more than the necessary 3,000 hours, right? Definitely making sure that 1,500 are direct, 1,500 are indirect, right? But for me, it's about the experience and being able to come out on the other side with a more balanced, a more well-rounded experience. So I hope all this information was helpful. I hope that it is useful in guiding your decision making. If you have any additional comments or questions, please feel free to leave them down below. Please like this video and subscribe. Share it with other school counselors who may have questions about getting their field hours. And thank you again. And I hope to see you at the next video. Bye.